Your skin changed faster than you expected. It was not a slow, graceful shift over decades the way you were told it would be. Sometime around 44 or 45, the texture changed. The firmness disappeared. The glow that used to come naturally after a good night of sleep stopped showing up, regardless of how well you slept. You invested in new serums, better moisturizers, overnight masks with ingredients you could barely pronounce. Some helped for an hour or two. None of them lasted. And the face looking back at you in the morning kept telling a story that no product seemed able to rewrite. What if the missing ingredient was never meant to go on your face at all? What if it was meant to go in your stomach every evening in a warm mug, 30 minutes before bed? Bone broth is not a trend. It has been a staple in traditional diets across every continent for centuries, from Chinese herbal soups to Eastern European stockpots to Latin American slow-simmered stews. But its relevance for skin after 45 is not about tradition or nostalgia. It is about a very specific protein that the body desperately needs during this phase and is losing at an alarming rate. That protein is collagen. Collagen is the structural framework that holds skin together. It provides the firmness, the bounce, the elasticity, and the plump, hydrated quality that younger skin has naturally without any effort. Collagen makes up roughly 75% of the skin's dry weight. It is not a minor component. It is the foundation. In the first 5 years after estrogen begins its significant decline, typically between 43 and 50, the skin loses approximately 30% of its collagen. 30% in 5 years. This is not a gradual fading over a lifetime. It is a rapid structural collapse concentrated in a narrow window. And the mechanism is direct. Estrogen receptors are embedded in virtually every layer of the skin. They drive collagen production, stimulate hyaluronic acid synthesis, and maintain the thickness of the dermal layer, the structural foundation beneath the visible surface. When estrogen declines, all three processes slow simultaneously. The skin thins. It loses its ability to hold water. Fine lines become permanent creases, because the internal hydration that used to fill them from inside is no longer being produced at the same rate. This explains why creams and serums produce increasingly limited results after 45. Topical products sit on the epidermis, the outermost layer of the skin. They can improve surface texture, provide temporary moisture, and create a smoother appearance for a few hours. But they cannot reach the dermis, the deeper layer where the structural collapse is actually happening. The cream sees the wrinkle and tries to fill it from the outside. The body sees the wrinkle and needs raw material to rebuild the collagen framework that would prevent it from forming in the first place. These are two completely different approaches, and only one of them addresses the root cause. The timing of this intervention matters because the collagen loss is front-loaded. The steepest decline happens in those first 5 years, which means the earlier collagen support begins, the more existing structure there is to preserve and build upon. A woman who starts consistent collagen intake at 44 has significantly more collagen infrastructure to protect than one who begins at 52. This does not mean it is too late at 52 or at 55. The fibroblasts, the cells that produce collagen, are still alive and functional at every age. They simply need the raw materials and the right biological signals to increase their output. Bone broth delivers these raw materials in their most bioavailable form. When animal bones are simmered for 12 to 24 hours, the heat breaks down the collagen in the connective tissue into gelatin and then into smaller peptide chains that the digestive system can absorb efficiently. Along with the collagen peptides, the broth extracts glycine, proline, and hyaluronic acid, the amino acids and molecules that the body uses as building blocks to synthesize new collagen and retain moisture in the skin. These are not synthetic supplements manufactured in a lab. They are the exact components the body has always used, delivered in a form that the digestive system recognizes and processes with minimal effort. But collagen delivery is only half of what makes bone broth uniquely effective for skin after 45. The other half is gut health, and the connection between the gut and the skin is far more direct than most people realize. Bone broth contains gelatin, which coats and soothes the gut lining, supporting the integrity of the intestinal wall. After 45, when hormonal changes, stress, and years of dietary wear have left the gut lining more permeable than it should be, gelatin helps seal the gaps between intestinal cells. A healthier gut lining means better absorption of nutrients, less systemic inflammation, and a stronger foundation for the body to process and deliver the collagen that the skin needs. The gut-skin axis, as researchers call it, means that skin conditions like unexplained dryness, sensitivity, redness, and accelerated aging often have their roots not in the skin itself, but in the gut environment. By healing the gut lining while simultaneously providing collagen raw materials, bone broth addresses the skin from both directions at once. Glycine, one of the most abundant amino acids in bone broth, adds yet another layer to this cascade. Glycine is a precursor to glutathione, the body's most powerful internal antioxidant. Glutathione protects cells from oxidative stress, which is one of the primary accelerators of skin aging at the cellular level. After 45, glutathione levels naturally decline. Replenishing glycine through bone broth supports the body's antioxidant defense from inside. Glycine also has a calming effect on the nervous system, promoting deeper, more restorative sleep. And deep sleep is precisely when growth hormone reaches its peak, the hormone responsible for overnight tissue repair, including skin repair. Drinking bone broth in the evening creates a cascade that builds on itself. Glycine calms the nervous system, promotes deeper sleep. Deeper sleep triggers growth hormone, and growth hormone drives the skin repair that uses the collagen and hyaluronic acid the broth delivered. One mug at night sets multiple repair processes in motion simultaneously. The practical protocol is simple and does not require a degree in nutrition. Use bones from chicken, beef, or fish. Chicken feet and beef knuckle bones are the richest in collagen because they contain the most connective tissue. Place them in a large pot or slow cooker, cover with water, add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, which helps extract minerals from the bones, and simmer on low heat for 12 to 24 hours. Chicken bones need 12 to 18 hours. Beef bones need 18 to 24. The broth is ready when it cools and forms a gel-like consistency in the refrigerator. That gel is the collagen. If the broth does not gel, it was not simmered long enough or did not contain enough collagen-rich bones. You can make a large batch on the weekend and store portions in the refrigerator for up to 5 days or in the freezer for months. Drink 1 cup, roughly 8 ounces, warm 30 to 60 minutes before bed. This timing aligns with the glycine calming effect and positions the collagen peptides for absorption during the overnight growth hormone window. Season it simply with salt, a pinch of turmeric for its anti-inflammatory properties, or a squeeze of lemon. Avoid adding heavy ingredients, pasta, grains, or anything that would spike insulin and interfere with the growth hormone release during sleep. The mug should feel like a warm, nourishing ritual, not a meal. If making bone broth from scratch is not practical every week, high-quality powdered bone broth collagen is an acceptable alternative. Look for products that specify collagen types, iron 3, which are the types most abundant in skin. The effective daily dose in research is 10 to 15 grams. Mix it into warm water or herbal tea in the evening. The convenience makes daily consistency far more achievable, and consistency is what produces visible results. To amplify the effect, take 500 to 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C alongside the bone broth or collagen supplement. Vitamin C is an essential cofactor for collagen synthesis. Without it, the body cannot form the crosslinks that give collagen fibers their structural strength. The raw materials can be present in abundance, but without adequate vitamin C, the new collagen produced will be weak and will degrade quickly. A single orange or a small vitamin C supplement, taken with the evening broth, ensures that the cross-linking machinery has what it needs. Results are not overnight, and expecting them to be leads to abandoning the protocol too early. The skin cycle takes approximately 4 to 6 weeks for new cells, generated in the deeper layers, to reach the visible surface. Most women who drink bone broth or take collagen consistently every evening begin noticing changes in skin hydration and texture around week 4. The skin feels less dry, less tight, and holds moisture longer through the day. By week 8 to 12, changes in firmness, fine line depth, and overall skin quality become visible enough that other people begin to comment. The changes come from within, not from a product on the surface, which is why they look different from what creams produce. The skin does not look coated or treated. It looks fed. Your skin did not age overnight, but the collapse that made it look that way happened in a narrow window when estrogen withdrew its support, and the collagen that held everything together began dissolving faster than the body could replace it. The replacement materials are available. They come in a warm mug. They cost almost nothing compared to the serums collecting dust on your bathroom shelf. And they work while you sleep. Proline, another amino acid abundant in bone broth, deserves specific mention because of how central it is to collagen formation. Proline comprises roughly 15% of the collagen molecule. Without adequate proline, the body cannot assemble new collagen fibers even when other building blocks are available in abundance. Most modern diets provide very limited proline because it is concentrated in connective tissue, skin, and cartilage, the parts of animals that contemporary eating habits have largely eliminated. Bone broth extracts proline directly from these tissues and delivers it in a form the body can immediately incorporate into new collagen fibers. This is one of the reasons whole bone broth often outperforms isolated collagen supplements. It provides the full spectrum of amino acids in the ratios the body actually needs, rather than a concentrated dose of 1 or 2. Combining the bone broth protocol with adequate sleep creates a compounding effect that neither intervention achieves alone. The broth provides the raw materials. Sleep provides the hormonal environment for construction. Without the materials, the growth hormone released during sleep has nothing to build with. Without the sleep, the materials sit unused because the construction signal never arrives. The evening mug of broth followed by quality sleep is not two separate interventions stacked together. It is one integrated repair system where each half activates the other. Your skin is not beyond repair. It is waiting to be rebuilt from the inside.